Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Kelly, Social Media Manager at the Toronto Real Estate Board. Now with tight market conditions came increased price growth in September, and here to discuss this further is Jason Mercer, Senior Manager, Market Analysis.
Thanks very much, Shannon. We saw almost 5,900 sales this past September, and that was down by about 21% in comparison to over 7,400 sales during the same period last year. Now, while some of this decline was due to a different number of working days or fewer number of working days this past September versus last year, we're still seeing an impact from the changes to mortgage lending guidelines that came into effect in July, with some households moving to the sidelines until they reevaluate their situation with regard to affordability. Some of these households may be looking to save up more money in the form of a down payment and or waiting for their incomes to increase. Now, while sales declined, we continue to see year-over-year growth in the average selling price. So for example, in September, we saw the average selling price up over $503,000, and that represented an increase of over 8.5%. Now, if we break this down in terms of the 416 versus the surrounding 905 regions, we pretty much saw price increases across the board in terms of the major housing types, but the strongest year-over-year increases were certainly seen within the 416 area code, and particularly for low-rise home types like singles, semis, and townhomes. But it's important to note that after a couple months of year-over-year declines, we also did see an 8% increase in the average condominium apartment selling price as well last month. So if we think about why prices are continuing to grow strongly, it all comes down to market tightness. And one of the key indicators looking at this is months of inventory. And right now, months of inventory, even with sales dropping over the last couple of months, is still trending below the 3-month range. And that's still putting us in seller's market territory. And so as a result, we're continuing to see high single-digit and even low double-digit growth in home prices on a year-over-year basis, because there's a lot of competition between home buyers and exerting strong upward pressure on selling prices. But it's important to note that as we move forward through the end of 2012 and into 2013, that months of inventory number is trending upwards, and that suggests that we're going to see better supplied market conditions in the winter and certainly as we move through next year. And so that would suggest that the pace of price growth will start to edge lower over the next year to year and a half. So there's a lot of interesting things that we'll have to keep an eye on as we move through the fall and into the winter months. So I look forward to speaking with you again when we roll out the October 2012 numbers. Now back to you, Shannon.
Thanks so much, Jason. Really looking forward to next month's highlights. Now you can still connect with us on Twitter at TREB Home as well as on Facebook, and have yourself a great October.